The Cannabis Show is for information only. You should always consult with a qualified and licensed physician or other medical care provider.
Welcome to the Cannabis Show. Today on the show, we have a closer look at MedReleaf's Trutiva strain. And Hart talks about how Alberta is leading the way in the upcoming rec market with another heart-to-heart. All that and more, keep watching. As someone who uses CBD, I must say I was quite excited to hear about MedReleaf's new line of CBD strains. One in particular that caught my eye was the sativa CBD strain Trutiva. Trutiva's rich terpene profile can give off that awakening buzz, although with a very low percentage of THC. Immediately after vaping, I felt my anxiety melt away and a feeling of weight taken off my shoulders overcame me. Others have said that Trutiva helped them with their back pain and also brought down inflammation. Not only are the effects of Trutiva been positive for patients, but many who like to admire the look and taste of the flower are pleased as well. The colorful buds, green mixed with orange, gives off a lemony, sweet scent with a blast of pine. Trutiva is generally recommended for daytime use, and patients with arthritis may also want to check out this strain. Trutiva by MedReleaf.
I'm not one to be really political, but I must say bravo to the Alberta government for getting the regulations right when it comes to the adult use market for cannabis. For contrast, let's take a look at the provincial government of Alberta and compare it to what's happening in Ontario. In Ontario, you'll have to buy your cannabis at the OCS, or Ontario Cannabis Store, which is owned by the government. And get this, they're talking about opening no more than 40 stores in the first year of legalization. 40 stores! So the Ontario population is more than 14 million people, and I'm not saying they're all cannabis users, but even if we take a quarter of that, at 3.5 million people, that's still one store for every 87,000 people. Look, I know my math may be skewed, but let me put it to you this way. There is one store planned for the city of Hamilton in the first year. In my opinion, if you're looking to quash the black market, you're not going to do that with one store in a city with a population of more than 500,000 people. Oh, and by contrast, there are at least 10 liquor stores in Hamilton, if not much more. Cut to Alberta, where the government initially came out with a number of 250 licenses being issued to Alberta for private retailers. And just to shed some light on that, Alberta's population is about 4.3 million. And guess what? After they announced the initial 250 licenses, they were very quick to qualify that by saying it's just a soft cap, meaning that there could be even more stores and licenses issued this year. Those retail stores can be open the same hours as liquor stores in Alberta, which is from 10 a.m. until 2 a.m. Now, there's still room for some improvement on the Alberta side, like the fact that I can't buy a bag of Doritos with my ounce of OG Kush, but for the most part, they seem to be on the right path. So, bravo Alberta, and Ontario, what are you smoking?
We get patients coming in looking for certain strains, so our go-to to find them? Well, besides the Bud Genius's cumulative and collective considerable knowledge around strains, we can refer to leafly.com and lift.co to see who generally carries what. Lift.co is a very integral, successful Canadian cannabis company. Check them out online for all they do in the industry. And while you're there, you can search specific ADD strains, for example. It will list various applicable producers and the strains and reviews from people just like you, trying the products out. You can even leave your own strain review. That's lift.co.
Hello, I'm Chris, and you can ask us anything on the Cannabis Show, and today we have Hart and Basil. Today's question does come from Mark, and he says, when I take my indica oil at night for sleep, I sometimes wake up an hour into my sleep. Why is that?
Well, the first thing you might want to look at, Mark, is your dosing. So perhaps you're only taking a very small amount of the indica oil and it's just not really doing its job. So I would look to that. You may want to increase gradually over time and see if that actually gives you the full night's rest.
I would say too, let's remember indica is a generalization, right? So it just might not be the right product for you. The plant that it was derived from may just not work with your endocannabinoid system for sleep. So try something else.
True, and the odd person does even fall asleep with sativa oil, so you never know.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, and I would add, just if you're waking up, you may want to also hit that vaporizer with some indica or some heavier stuff to help you fall back asleep.
Yeah, some good tips there. Maybe take it an hour before, kind of thing.
Yeah, even take a little bit of CBD prior to 45 minutes to an hour before, help prime up those receptors a little bit.
Excellent, some good tips there, guys. Thank you. If you have a question for us on the Cannabis Show, email us, thecannabisshow@naturalhealthservices.ca.